Have you ever seen those special TV shows or movies? You know the ones that are so wonderfully, unintentionally bad, but they bring you so much joy and captivate you, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we here at B-Watch Rewatch absolutely live for these underdog gems.
So buckle up, Busters, and please allow us,
Colin
and Cadence, a sibling duo who share a passion for such cinematic excellence, to take you on a wild ride through all the TV shows and movie plots you never knew you needed to hear.
Hi, everybody. It's Colin.
Oh, hello. Oh, am I supposed to say my name? I feel like it's so repetitive that I don't know. You guys know I'm Cadence.
But they expect the cadence of your voice to be the same as well.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did.
So today we are so excited because we are bringing to you one of our personal favorite movies. I think it's a lot of people's personal favorites movies. Jesus. It is Troll 2.
I didn't have a response because I was processing you saying baby, and I was like, I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
I know. I was trying to get revved up, the energy going. I'm ready to do this. I'm excited.
You're like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Like,
let's do this.
Okay.
Troll 2. Which, by the way, there is a Troll 1, but it has
Unrelated.
nothing to do with this movie, you guys. I know it's a little confusing, but it has nothing to do. We'll just give you a little bit of brief history without giving away too much of the movie. It's kind of funny because it was written by an Italian guy who wrote it, and there was that language barrier between the actors. It was made in 1990, so right coming out of the 80s, the hair's big, clothes are big, shoulder pads are big. But it was written by an Italian man who obviously wrote a movie script, which is more than we've ever done, so good on him.
Bilingual.
But the cast obviously didn't speak Italian, and there was a lot of language barriers, and so he had this vision in his mind of making the next biggest scary movie ever, and he did it. He succeeded.
He succeeded. That's the end.
That.
We're done. He wasn't accepting of anybody helping him sort of rewrite the script or modify it accordingly, and so there's just sort of the subtlety and
there's like
nuance
the
of the
yeah, exactly.
doesn't quite work. Bless his heart. Bless his heart.
Little heart. But you know what? He made a movie, Troll 2, and it is beloved by all, and we're so excited to cover it today. So what we're going to do is just give you a little plot summary, just so you guys know the basics, and introduce you to the main characters, and then we're going to
It'll give you the through line. So
into this story.
There's so many weird things that happen.
There's a lot more elements of surprise in this one.
I was surprised so many times.
There's a lot of surprises in this movie. So, all right. Well, let's just give you a quick little overview.
The basic premise is that there's a family of 4, mom and dad, Michael and Diana, 2 kids, Holly and Joshua. Their grandpa Seth has passed away within the last 6 months. And they're all kind of processing that in different ways, which we'll
very
touch
different
on.
ways. All of them very different.
Part of their effort to sort of process this is to take a month off and go to the country. And the way that they've chosen to do this is do a house exchange. So a family in the country is letting them stay at their house for a month, and this family of Joshua, Holly, Michael, and Diana, they're letting this country family stay in their house in the city. And so
it's like that movie with Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, The Holiday.
Yeah, The Holiday, a little switch.
With Kate Winslet, for sure.
Oh, I thought it was Cameron Diaz and... Is it Kate Winslet? Oh,
Trust
I want to do
me,
something like
I know my Kate
that.
Winslet, love her.
And so that's that.
And then once they get to this house in the country, the mystery starts unfolding.
Or does it?
Or keeps folding in on itself
Right.
into nothingness.
We're starting with Joshua, the kid. He's in his bedroom, and he is seeing his grandpa read him a story, which is so
This
sweet.
is a full-on Princess Bride ripoff.
Oh,
by
I was
the
going
way.
to say full Princess Bride. I was trying to think of that movie, but I could not. So he's having this Princess Bride moment where his grandpa's reading him this story, and he's
While he's
asking
in bed.
all these questions about this.
Oh, I thought you were like, he's asking all these questions about this, and I was waiting for you to finish that sentence. Just picture exactly the same thing, Princess Bride. You got an old man in a rocking chair reading a story. Joshua's listening. He's asking questions. So it's not like a pleasant story, right?
Like, it's a pretty traumatizing story.
Yeah, he's telling this kid in bed how these trolls are eating this dude alive. And then he's like, but Grandpa, why do they do it? And he's like,
that's the point. Goblins don't need to justify their cruel acts. They're evil creatures. But let me go on, please.
Okay, Grandpa. Okay, Grandpa. Well, yes,
he's explaining like chaotic evil to a child, and the child's like, listen, I don't understand this. And he's like, listen, they're goblins. Like, they don't have to defend themselves. They're immoral.
I know.
Let me just finish this story.
I was going to say he never, it's called Troll 2, but they don't ever say troll. He just says goblins. He's telling a story about the goblins. And the kid does have all these questions, and the grandpa's like, just listen to the fucking story. Doesn't make sense, but just listen to it.
Let me finish. He's saying, like, these goblins live in the woods, and they turn people into plants, feed them this gross stuff, and then they turn into plants, and then they eat them after they turn into plants.
Makes sense, and there's no reason why. The damn trolls.
Because the kid's trying to be like, okay, but what can I do to avoid this? And he's just like, so Grandpa, nothing.
If you
absolutely
know
nothing.
So much about this, what do I? Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just no backstory, nothing. It's just goblins love to eat people.
He just keeps saying, like, listen, they're goblins. Like, there is no morality to it. And I'm like, that's the scariest, most chaotic thing to teach a child.
To teach your grandchild. So while Grandpa's telling this story, obviously there's a Princess Bride moment where it's like back in the day, and there's this little Twinkie guy dressed like Robin Hood, like full tights and everything, and he is being chased by these goblins. And let me tell you guys, they are a scary group of goblins. They are not at all a bunch of people with glued on face masks that maybe a fifth grade class in Utah made, because they don't move. All their expressions are the same, and you can actually see as they're running, like the masks moving up and down. So it's also very scary, and it's full daylight.
You should know. Yeah. And they all move like in a real slow group, so you've got plenty of time. And they have to physically feed you something in order for you to turn into a plant. So time is on your side, speed is on your side, not opening your mouth to consume.
I don't know, Katie, what is more terrifying to you, but when I see a slow group of moving goblins coming at me, trying to feed me this stuff to turn me into goop so they can eat it, that is terrifying. They can't really run or go fast because they have masks on. They're tripping.
Going so slow. It cracks me up. And so you should also know that when we watched this with Colin for the first time.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say something about that. I watched this movie for the first time ever, like maybe 2 years ago. Katie showed
you. We had one special goblin that we spotted in every scene, and her name was Gertrude. We named her that. So she screamed Gertrude. That's her name.
Gertrude. She looks just a little bit special. She's the one that doesn't really know quite what's going on, what the other goblins are doing. She's just kind of there following the rules. She's
always like following the group.
She's just
no
kind of like,
what
sure, okay,
doing.
Yeah, let's slowly walk after this guy and feed him something to kill us.
Yeah, no, I totally know what's going on. Totally know what's happening.
And if you watch, you will find Gert. There is no doubt in my mind you will know which one is Gert.
Yeah, let's play a game. If you guys watch it, send us a screenshot of which one you think is Gert.
I think the director was doing, the reason they always move in a group is because it was like, you know how like sharks go after fish and the school of fish stays together because they can't single out just one. Because if you saw just one of these things on your own, you'd be like, wow, that is really bad, everything. So they have to stay in a group, so you never know which one to look at. But Gert stands out like a sore goblin thumb. I love her.
You'll see later, like, they really aren't intimidating to everyone. There's an instance that happens later that proves my point, because this slow-moving herd of baby goblins.
And like I said, that story that the grandpa's telling takes place in a beautiful forest during the day. So there's really no suspense of like the darkness or anything. It's like a really nice forest and these slow-moving goblins that are little babies.
The most important thing to take away from this opening scene, beyond just the chaos of the evil of the goblins and their just absolutely no moral reasonings, is that Grandpa Seth doesn't exist in reality, guys. He's passed away.
Oh, so not only do we have a Princess Bride, we have a Sixth Sense situation.
Yeah.
The little boy Michael is seeing dead grandpa read him scary goblin stories.
Yeah, and I mean, the more I thought about this conceptually, the more it bothered me, because I'm like, not only is he seeing, which is fine, like if you feel like you see someone who's passed away and that's like a special gift to you, great. To see your dead grandfather who's also telling you horrifying stories is like, I mean, Seth is terrifying. Grandpa Seth is absolutely terrifying.
Why is he doing this?
Yes, he's not coming to like
come back to me, give me a hug.
Kid.
Tell me life is going to be okay, Grandpa Seth. Don't come back. Sit in a chair across my room and read me these ridiculous stories that have
Instead, he's like, these guys don't have to defend themselves.
I'd be like, Grandpa, are you in heaven? Are goblins in heaven? Is this a way to tell me what heaven is like or hell? Or what is the reasoning behind this?
What is the message? I kept asking myself that the entire time. Like, why is Grandpa Seth coming from whatever realm he is in to talk like specifically about goblins?
Grandpa Seth does not need to give reasons for anything. He's dead. He do what he want.
He's got a one-track mind.
He dead. He do what he want. Traumatize my grandkids with goblin stories.
It becomes clear that Grandpa Seth, as we said, has passed on. Joshua is the only one who can see him. And in that moment, his mom comes in and she's like, listen, Josh, I'm hearing you talk to him again. Like, he's not here. And Josh is like, I see him, Mom. Like, he's right here. He's just as real as possible. And his mom's just like,
Grandpa Seth has been gone for more than 6 months now. You were at the funeral, and I know it was very difficult for you. It was also very difficult for your father, and for Holly, and for me, his daughter. He was an amazing man. Grandpa Seth has remained in all our hearts, but you must banish him from your mind. Remember what the doctor said?
Of course. Grandpa Seth is just an invention of my subconscious.
Immediate good mother skills. She's right. She's not wrong.
Zero compassion.
Get over it. Don't mourn in your own way. Do not see dead grandpa.
It's real rough. Like, the whole thing's rough. It's terrifying for him, but also she's just like, this is really impeding on my sleep. So if you could just get over it, that would be great. Thanks so much.
Side note, Mom, which her name is Diane, she looks pure Boderick and Bolero.
Oh, she totally does.
Manic white lady, pure.
She totally does.
Wide-eyed,
I didn't even
on
put
stimulants.
that together.
Yes, so I get it. Maybe this is like a sequel to Bolero. This is after all is said and done and they've settled down. This is a story.
This is her in On Hell.
And then the next scene after that, after the mom's mean, this is where we meet Holly, which I love Holly, you guys, because
and this is one of the best introductions to any character in the history of cinema.
She is in her tight 80s tights, her beautiful curly hair, listening to music and just bench pressing thousands of pounds of weights. And then she's not done there, you guys.
With a weightlifting belt.
Because Holly takes shit seriously. She knows she's got to fight some goblins someday. So she puts it up and then she just starts dancing like crazy, but not really cute. More like Jessie from Saved by the Bell when, the maniac scene when she had a little bit too much caffeine pills.
She's so excited.
Yeah, that's pure vibe she's giving. But you tell right off the bat, Holly is a badass. She's not seeing no dead grandpa.
Sure.
She kicks dead grandpa out of her room. Grandpa, get out. I got a weight lift, bitch.
She literally threw him out.
He's like, Grandpa Seth wants to tell you a story about goblins. She's like, no, music, weightlifting, that's my passion. Get out. I got to make Miss Physique.
And she's like, Annette is my coach. I got to get there, Gramps. So it's like this montage too of her like bench pressing and then also intercut with like posters on her wall. Mm-hmm. It's so bizarre. And I think what they were trying to do is be like, look, this is a teen girl who cares about her body and loves movie stars. But it was like...
and is also, I don't know, unbelievably shiny from sweat from head to toe. She's also might be 13 or 18. We don't know. But
just cash. Just so cash. So she's lifting weights and someone sneaks through her window.
Because she's a teen girl that loves that kind of stuff. And guys are going to come see her because look at her, she's a badass.
Right. So she's lifting weights and her boyfriend, Elliot, who's somebody else we're introducing who's a part of this story, he sneaks through her window and they get into this massive fight. And it's, okay, first of all, she never takes off her weightlifting belt.
No, she does not. It is full on as they're laying on the bed having a talk.
She has this whole conversation lounging on the bed, still wearing her weightlifting belt.
Fully sweaty, shiny, slipping off the covers, can't fully stay on the bed because she's so slippery.
She's just sliding the whole time. And she's like,
Elliot, what kind of idiotic joke is this? You scared the shit out of me.
I'm the victim of a nocturnal rapture. I have to release my lowest instincts with a woman. Oh!
Release your instincts in the bathroom.
Are you nuts? You trying to turn me into a homo?
Wouldn't it be too hard If my father discovers you here, he'd cut off your little nuts and eat them. He can't stand you.
And you?
I like you. But my family doesn't like you. They say you're good for nothing and that you spend way too much time with your friends.
Oh, but I swear I never see them.
Like, her dad is so disproportionately mean and mad about this dude having a group of friends. It's such an odd thing to be mad about. It's not like he's treating her badly or he's like, neglects her in
He's a
some
queer for
way.
hanging out with other guys, obviously.
He's just like, he won't stop hanging out with other guys, and that's a problem. So then this is where she says my favorite quote of all times, which she goes, if my dad knew we're in here, he'd cut off your little nutsack.
That's a toxic relationship. That's,
Yeah,
you know what? That's a little too, and I do want to confirm that the dad's name is Michael, correct?
Right.
So it's Michael, Josh is the son, Holly the daughter, and then Diane the mom. Just making sure, then this Grandpa Seth.
So she threatens, she's like, he hates you so much. And so she's yelling at him from the second he walks in the window. She's yelling at him. And then he goes, but how do you feel about me? And then she's like, all of a sudden, like, well, I like you. And they kiss. So she's like, we're going on vacation tomorrow. I'm so sorry to tell you this. We're going to be gone for a month. And then he goes, I'll come with you. And after this entire speech where she's like, my dad hates you. He wants to cut off your nuts. She goes, okay, I'll tell my dad you're coming with us.
I mean,
and she's serious. I thought she was being sarcastic at first, but she wasn't.
Do you think Holly
She's
fucks around, Katie?
like-
Do you think Holly fucks around with jokes? No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
She doesn't have any time. She's got too many weights to lift. So he's like, I promise I won't hang out with my friends. I swear, like, I want to spend a month with you in the country. And at that moment, who do you think pops up in the window?
His friends, his gay
his
little
whole group
friends.
of
They're like,
friends.
come on, we're having an orgy. Come on, grab the lube. That's what happens.
Grab the Luke.
So
And,
basically,
they make a plan to meet the next morning so they can all go to the country for a month.
exactly. All right. So after we've had our initial introduction to the family, they're on the road to go stay in this month in this town and switch lives with families, do the holiday status. And basically, we'll keep it real quick. But on this road trip, we start to see that Josh, the son, he has this dream about becoming a plant. And it is a terrifyingly scary
call it a
dream.
nightmare.
It's a
I would call it a
nightmare. It's a
nightmare.
nightmare.
Qualifies as a nightmare.
I think so.
That's a little foreshadowing. Just keep that in mind. He has this nightmare about turning into a plant. Then the weirdest thing happens ever. Grandpa Seth is on the side of the road as a hitchhiker. So he makes his parents pull over, and so many things about this. I'm like, if he's dead and he can show up anywhere, can't he not just pop up in the car? Like, why does he have to be on the side of the road?
You don't know ghost physics, Cadence, spirit physics. I know, and if I was Josh, I'd be like, Grandpa Seth, what is going on? I'd be really suspicious. This is a ghost disguising himself as Grandpa Seth to torture me. But you're right.
Like maybe this isn't actually Grandpa Seth. Maybe
So they
this
pull
is
over.
like a ghost that's like having hijinks,
Right.
ghost hijinks. So they pull over. He runs out. Grandpa Seth is like,
What are all of you doing here? You have to make them go back.
Why?
You're getting yourselves into big trouble. This is a bad place, little one. It even gives me the creeps.
And the family's just watching him talk to air. They're just like, oh, Josh, he's really dealing with this death. Good.
he's just processing. The other big thing that happens in the car is that Holly and her dad, Michael, are having a massive argument because they waited an extra hour and a half for Holly's boyfriend, Elliot, to meet them so they could all go on the vacation together. And he wasn't there. And so they're already late getting out.
Ugh, Elliot, you
Michael's
just told me
so
last
mad.
night that you were coming with me for a month. Ugh.
Exactly. So the dad is pissed, and the thing he immediately goes into is, I told you that guy was no good for you. He's always hanging out with his friends. Like, immediately goes to the friends thing.
Dad, get off the friends thing.
This family decides the mom decides that the best way to solve this conflict is to put it on Josh. Like, not only is he dealing with seeing his dad hitchhiking grandpa on the side of the road,
And just had a
having
nightmare about turning into a
nightmares,
plant.
Now it's his job to quell the conflict in the car between Holly and Michael. And she says,
Stop it, please. Joshua, start singing. Come on, sing that song I like so much.
I don't feel like singing, Mom.
Just sing.
Josh, make them stop fighting. Sing that song I really like. Guys, what do you think the song is?
It's row, row, row your damn boat, you guys. Row, row. Josh is like, Mom, what the hell? I just got out and talked to dead grandpa. You saw me talking to air. I just woke up screaming from a nightmare, and now you're going to make me sing row, row, row your boat to stop
To
a
calm
fight.
a conflict between Holly and
It's
Dad.
bizarre.
Like,
So-
this is not my place, number one. And number two, row, row, row your boat is the soothing number you need to hear right now? Really?
Needless to say, this is
Really?
a really awkward road trip to get to this town, you guys. It is just filled with conflict. But along the way, they also pass. Who do you think they pass?
Oh, that would be Elliot and his friend group.
Yeah, they decided to go separately in an RV, and they're going to follow them. For what reason? We don't know. Maybe it'll come to light later. Maybe.
Yeah, this whole subplot is one of those things that doesn't quite add up. I think it kind of implies that the RV is broken down on the side of the road because as the family drives by, Holly flips off Elliot like, you were supposed to meet us and you didn't. Why are you on the side of the road? But also it's like, did the whole friend group just like, who had the RV?
Yeah.
And
They're like
who
high
gave
school
them
kids,
permission
and they're
to
all
go
going for
live
a
in the
month?
woods for a month? Like,
And why-
the whole thing.
Obviously, they were more prepared because they were ahead of them when they broke down. So they were
That's
they
true.
were
That's
fully
the other
prepared.
thing.
I don't
Because
get
I was
it.
like, they were supposed to meet you. You're running late. They're already halfway there on the side of the road.
Doesn't
like,
make any
where
sense.
was the miscommunication?
Doesn't make
I
any
don't
sense.
get it, but whatever.
So
Maybe they were too busy having group sex,
Gay sex, as friends do, as male friends do.
as it happens.
So the family finally makes it to Nilbog, and you guys just think about the name Nilbog for a minute. We're not gonna like give spoilers too much, but just think about that for a minute. So they meet
ponder.
and they get to the house that they're supposed to house sit for, and it's really great because there is it's very transactional. They walk up, the other family comes out, and the other family is very weird, kind of got this Amish, social
they're
distance
very
vibe.
like no emotions,
No emotion,
flat. They're
callous.
just like
No
"Hi,
talk
welcome
goes
to
on
the house."
between. They don't try to figure out who these people are. They literally just get in their car and leave.
Well,
and it's like, there
well,
we are.
I don't want to say no talk happens because
Oh, talking
there's
about the
this
baseball?
No. There's this weird scene. So they say, like, here's the keys to our house to Michael. He's like, okay. They're walking away, and he's like,
But our house has all the major conveniences.
and they're still walking, and he's like,
Yeah, it's got a microwave and video, all the other appliances,
Yeah.
a refrigerator, a bar.
and they get in their car. They're literally driving away, and he's like, close to the freeway, like lots of good schools,
Poor
lights,
guy, just
electricity,
excited,
still
excited.
listing everything. And then he's offended. He's like, well, that's not very good country hospitality. I'm like, they're driving away. What did you expect them to say? You're the one who's still talking. They wanted this to be over.
So after they do this really weird exchange with the family, don't really say much except for the boy just listing the appliances they have. They're all sitting there, and then Josh gets thrown a baseball. And the baseball has this green ooze on it that says, eat before we eat you. And Josh does not tell his family this. He's just like, oh, okay. Little
At this
thank you
point,
gift. Little thank you gift.
Josh doesn't know what's real and what's not.
I
He's
know,
like, Grandpa
poor
said
Josh, poor
you throw me this
Josh.
baseball. Poor guy. And he can't count on his family. If he tells them, they're going to just be angry. So he's just probably keeping it to himself. But the other thing I think is interesting about this whole situation is that they get in the house and they're like, we're starving. And they're looking through and they're like, they didn't leave us anything. And I'm like,
Bitch, it's not their responsibility to leave you food.
they are so irritated.
It's the
that
big
there's
city
no
people.
food.
They just don't know.
But then they take a turn, and the whole table, you guys, is laid out with a banquet of what some might say is green frosting. I mean, who am I to say?
Okay, if I was to walk with my family into a thing and we saw a banquet of all just various shades of green mush on the table, like even the juice in the glass pitcher is green, I would be slightly like, this doesn't seem totally normal. But his
Right.
family just digs in, you guys. They are
and the
ready
dad's
to dig
obsessed
in.
with country hospitality. Obsessed
I
with
mean,
it.
I guess he thinks that's what country hospitality
So
is,
he's
just
like,
green food
well,
on
he
a table.
says, he's like, this is country hospitality. They left us all this food. So he clearly, yes, he
changed
very
his
much
mind.
interprets it.
So as they're getting ready to eat, guess who fucking shows up again in the window, tapping on the wind?
It's in the freaking screen door, which also, again, I'm like, Grandpa Seth, you can
Grandpa Seth, you
appear
guys.
anywhere. And you make Josh get up, walk over. You're on the outside of the screen door. You don't even come in the house.
Yeah, like, why are you torturing him with this? Just appear next to him like a regular ghost. But no,
Whisper in his ear.
He's not.
Something, anything that's easier than this. So he tells him, Josh, whatever you do. And he says, and I quote,
For the love of God, don't let them eat. Stop them, Joshua. You're the only one that can do it. If they eat, they'll come to the same end as Peter in the story.
But how can I stop them?
You have 30 seconds to come up with some way to stop them.
Seth, that is so much pressure to put on your grandchild. I'm really questioning Seth's antics right now. I just don't know what is going on. But he does tell him that. What would you guys do if you had 30 seconds to stop your family from eating this country hospitality feast? Like,
put yourself in Josh's shoes. They're already not listening to you because they think you're delusional. So you have
to do something drastic.
Options.
You have to do something drastic.
I'm not judging Josh. I think given his limitations, he chose a very creative solution, which was
to pee
standing
all
up
over the food, you guys. Stand up on the chair.
Urinating on it.
And peeing all over all the food. Mm-hmm. And that's when you know this movie is, I'm ready to watch this. I'm ready to know what the hell is going on with that food.
If the weightlifting montage did not pull you in, Josh peeing all over the green food is definitely the thing that will.
But you know what? It works. It works. Seriously, Diane, as a mom, I'd be really concerned when my son is like, Grandpa Seth was stalking me on the road, said to pee on the food. Like, I'd be like, okay, this has gone beyond morning. Okay, this is getting into something weird. But
he's already told him a bedtime story about goblins. He's been a hitchhiker on the road, and now he's like, pee on everybody's food.
So he stands up, you guys, and full pees, and it is the weirdest scene. And they are so mad because that country hospitality went down the drain, and the dad picks him up.
Not the toilet drain, though.
Not the toilet drain. Michael, the dad, picks up Josh and just like takes him in the room and yells at him, and you just know that this is not going to be good.
And so Diana and Holly are cleaning up all the pea food, and Diana's begging Michael, like, don't spank him, and Holly's like,
why not? It's what he deserves. A big spanking for little shit.
I'm telling you, Holly's a badass. She does not give a fuck.
She really, truly doesn't. This all culminates with Michael, the dad, taking Josh up to his room, and he starts unbuckling his belt, and you think that he's going to get hit. And
Holly's so excited about it. She's out there rooting him on.
Holly's like, go.
Here, use my weightlifting belt. She just gives him a giant, thick belt.
The mom also says, he's not a little shit. He's just very sensitive. And I'm like,
Diane needs to go to therapy. She's kind of got this like spacey, like wide-eyed, like she's just that kind of mom who's like kind of out of it.
A little bit checked out. Totally.
She's a little bit checked out. Maybe a lot of it checked out, but poor girl.
So, anyway, he doesn't, thank goodness, he doesn't spank Joshua with the belt. He just tightens it, and he says,
tighten my belt by one loop so I don't feel hunger pains. And your sister and mother will have to do likewise.
I'm so confused about, did they not bring a cooler?
Nothing.
Did they not bring snacks?
I
Why
know.
can they not go to the store? What
it makes
did they
no
think was
sense.
happen
You guys,
when
they got there
there
midday. They got there midday. Like they
it's
could
not like they pulled in late after everything was closed.
And I know from when we went on we would go on not really road trips as kids, but we had this giant van, and we brought like snacks, like we brought at least water or something, and then just nothing.
At the very least,
at the very least, water. Just nothing. I just think it's ridiculous.
And he's like, the whole family has to suffer because of you. And I mean, keep in mind, they are coming here for a month. Month.
You think you'd have been better prepared, Michael? You think you'd have been better prepared?
I'm unclear. Whatever. So moving on. All right. So we're going to catch up with our favorite group of boys, Elliot and his friends.
The old queers in the RV.
Yeah.
They're parked in the woods. They're not even anywhere close to the family. It's bizarre why they're even there, but whatever.
It's so unclear if they kind of knew the general area the family was going to be in.
If I was in high school and like my girlfriend or boyfriend like was like stalking me, but not really stalking me, and following my family to an old country house in the woods, but like not really staying there, I'd have a lot of questions. I'd be a little bit concerned. But you know what?
Brought us all of his friends.
And all of his friends. Yeah, it's just kind of bizarre. Because anyway, it's
what are
nuts.
they, like, how are they filling their days, kind of? So it's like they're just sitting in the woods.
This is how we learn how they're filling their days. They're sitting in the woods, having a good old time. And then all of a sudden, they hear this beautiful, they don't hear, they hear a beautiful girl. They hear a girl screaming, and they look out. One in particular, his name is Arnold. And Arnold's one of my top favorite characters in this movie. So he sees this beautiful girl running through the forest, and he's like, shit, I gotta go run after her, see what's going on. So he runs after her. They catch up. He catches up with her.
He body slams her.
He body slams her into the ground.
What you mean. He thinks he's rescuing her, but he's body slamming her.
And she's just scared. No one knows where this girl came from, any story about her. And she's like, are you one of the monsters? And he's like, what the hell are you talking about?
And she's like, are you a human? And he goes,
very human. Want to see?
Arnold. Now is not the
Arnold.
time.
She's obviously in distress. She's got torn clothes and blood all over her. Not the time. And so he looks up after making that awful comment. And what does he see? A bunch of little goblin babies slowly herding towards him, very slowly moving towards him in broad daylight
They're
in the
all
forest.
making this like.
Oh, and there's a close-up of Gert, and you see Gert full on, and you'll know. And so he kind of like, we want to say that he's scared, but no, not really. He's kind of like, what are you guys doing? Who are you guys?
He kind of takes the tone of like a disappointed parent. Like he's like, guys,
what is going on? Why are you chasing this girl?
This seems like not a nice thing to be doing right now. Is
And
this
they're
really
even
how you want to spend your lives?
They're slowly moving towards him, like in this very slow, and he's like, okay, well, I guess we'll get up and run away from these goblins. He runs away, but guess what? One of the goblins gets him with the spear.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He chucks a branch at Arnold and impales his arm.
And then Arnold's like, shit, okay, these slow-moving goblins,
they're
the slow-moving baby
but-
goblins are full on, they're not joking around. And so him and this beautiful girl that he's run into, they run into a house in the woods.
Because they're able to still run away from the goblins, keep in mind.
We told you the goblins are pretty slow moving. They're just like way in the background, like, and like obviously the goblins could eventually catch up. It's like Pepe Le Pew, like you eventually catch up
right
to the people, so they would be able to see that he went to the
situation.
the tortoise and the hare. But anyway, I guess those goblins, once they run out of view, they're just like, all right, well, we lost them.
They just all sort like herd in a different direction. Like, well, we lost sight of that guy. Let's just herd towards the next thing we see moving.
So Arnold and this beautiful girl are in what is very much so a church in the middle
I
of the
know.
forest.
I was going to say that. They come up to the outside of this place and they're like, let's hide in this house. And I'm like, guys, it's literally a gigantic church. but
Also,
whatever.
run back to your RV. Go get the guys. So this is where the movie gets even better because now we get a whole nother element. You thought goblins slowly chasing people in the woods and
impaling
working
them
out
with branches.
Working
but
out
nope.
teens was good. Nope, there's a whole nother spin put on this.
They enter this church house and it's dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many candles.
All the candles.
So many candles. A really massive room with like one bed and a cauldron.
It's full Disney haunted mansion in there.
Right.
Old cobwebs, big candles. It's full set design. Love it.
And out of the back comes a witch.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be asking, what's this witch's name? I'll tell you.
I am Credence Leonor Gielgud of ancient druid origins. My ancestors came from Stonehenge.
And she is very clearly a 30-year-old woman that is dressed up to be a witch. And I guess they think that a witch, all they need to do is just darken the teeth.
Right. And give her a pair of glasses.
And give her a pair of glasses. And she is an old hag. She's an old witch hag. That makes it.
So it's kind of the reverse of Bo Derek being 36, trying to play an 18-year-old. This woman's clearly 30, and they want her to look like in the 65, 70-year-old range.
But no
it's just
makeup.
Not quite,
no makeup, you guys. It's
not quite
no
working.
like old people makeup. It's literally they darkened her teeth, gave her glasses, and then put streaks of white in her hair because she's old. She's an old.
And they're like,
old
get it?
druid.
She's old. Get it? She's
But
old.
I love her outfit. She comes out in full like fur, black fur with like a
Cape.
little cape, and she's just. And first off, if I'm Arnold, I'd be like, this is not normal. This is not a situation in which I would
Right.
ever picture myself. What are you doing? What do you do with your spare time? Are you just up here hanging out? Is this cauldron always going? Who lights
You're
these
clearly
candles?
living in a church.
You're living in a church. This doesn't seem right.
But Arnold doesn't do that. He says, I need you to call a hospital. I've been hurt. I've been impaled by a branch. And she says, oh, no. Sweet baby Arnold. Nobody in Nilbog uses hospitals or doctors. We all heal ourselves. We use the plants. Clearly. So she points over to her cauldron that's bubbling and she says, listen, I've got this veggie goo. It comes from the trees.
So good.
You're going to drink
Full
it
broth.
up.
I've been making it for days.
You're
No
gonna
goblins
love it.
involved. Nothing at all.
Goblin free goo.
This is totally fine. I know you just got traced. chased by these little gobbles, but you know what? I have nothing to do with them. Let me heal you with my vegetarian.
Yeah,
meal.
I'm a completely different thing. Okay,
I'm like a whole
the
different
druids
witch.
are
I'm like a whole different witch. Like, you know, not
not like other
scary.
witches.
I'm like more like vegetarian witch, like vegan, like save the planet witch. So Arnold is his wheels are turning in his head, and he's like, something doesn't feel quite normal about this whole situation.
I mean, the whole thing, like you're walking into a church in the woods with a cauldron burning over and a lady in the capes, but whatever,
right?
of ancient druid origins.
Ancient druid origins, and you also just got chased by goblins, like a ton of goblins. Well, not chased, slowly walked after by a herd of goblins. So he's a little hesitant, but you know, this girl that he just hit on as she was in fear and terror, she's like, look, bitch, I'm falling apart here. I was running from those goblins for a lot longer than you. I'm going to drink this.
Which also begs the question, if they outran the goblins to get to the church, and she's been running from the goblins for a really long time, like how long was that chase happening? Because they're just slowly sort of meandering through the woods.
I mean,
she's running at a breakneck pace.
They're meandering. They are for sure meandering.
So it feels like it's been a long time, but whatever.
So she goes ahead and she gets this witch's brew, and she's like, I need this soup. I'm hungry.
She needs those nutrients.
She needs those nutrients.
Her electrolytes are all out of whack.
You guys, 2 seconds after drinking this, guess what the hell happens? Right in front of Arnold's eyes, she turns into a pile of green goo.
And if you were a little confused about it, visually they leave her underwear in the goo, so you're clear that it was actually her that disintegrated into this pile, just so we know.
I think it was that girl, because there's some ladies' panties in that goo. I was confused it was somebody else, but you know what? There's some
But
panties.
you know what? Those panties gave it away.
And then
the witch Credence is like, come, my friends, come, enjoy. And who comes out of the attic?
Little goblin monsters, and they are slowly but efficiently scooping up the green goo with their hands and putting it on their faces.
And just eating it. Well, yeah.
That's what I meant. They're just up there masked.
It's a milk and honey situation.
It's a milk and honey situation. They are just lapping it up like dogs. And Arnold is full traumatized. And this is where the
heart of the movie is right
now.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
The other thing that's kind of confusing about this is
like where the hell the goblins came from, because I thought they were slowly meandering outside.
Right.
Where did they come from?
Is there another herd of goblins waiting upstairs? Like, the origin of them is unclear.
Does she summon the goblins?
And what does
is this a Snow White situation? Does she like clean and
she
feed
live with them?
the 7 goblins? And like,
because you know they're not doing anything efficiently. They're not like cleaning or helping her in any way, shape, or form. They're not mining. That's for damn sure.
They're throwing sticks at random people in the woods. Like, she's probably like, I feel bad for these guys. I got to do something.
And what is she getting out of it? Because she's not a goblin, right? So she's not eating any of the people who are being turned into goo. She's just providing the meals for the goblins.
You know what? Some people share their love language is cooking. Your love language is cooking. You love to cook.
That's so true.
So
I know
maybe
this
she's just
witch
looking
inside
for.
And out.
Yeah, you know her. You look in those dead 30-year-old witch eyes, and you see. You see yourself.
So at the end of this scene, essentially, she leaves. She's made a beautiful, delicious green pudding to give her new neighbors. And now she's walking out the door. She says, I'll be back for you. And guess who it is? It's Arnold. And guess what's happening to him? He's turning into a plant.
Well, you said that so dry, but I was thinking like he could have gotten away. He could have done it. He could have pushed over. He could have pushed over old witchy pants. The goblins are upstairs, just having. They're not even concentrated. They're eating goo panties, and we were just like, Arnold, you can definitely run away. Right? Just push her over. You're not a plant yet. You're still full human boy.
I think maybe what they were trying to imply was him having been
stunned,
hit with the branch. What am I saying?
You're right. What's the goblins, they hit him with the branch. The branch that impaled him.
Impaled. That's the word I was trying.
Seeds in motion, so to say.
So to speak.
So to say, seed in motion.
So maybe it's like kind of it planted the seeds, plus he was getting too tired and sick to move. Plus, he was in shock by seeing the goo panty situation.
God, Arnold, you've had a rough freaking day, bud.
It really was. So by the end of this scene, the point is that she's gotten to him. Someone has gotten to him, and he's being turned into a plant.
He's just so stunned that he's going to just stay there. He just can't move. That's it.
What I'm curious about is what defines who turns into goo puddles and who is turned into plant material.
Well, okay. Arnold didn't drink the goo that she made. He didn't drink the Kool-Aid, so to say. So he's not going to turn into goo because they only turn into goo if they eat that stuff that's made.
Maybe so.
He just got impaled, so he's just like sitting pretty.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
If you are penetrated by a goblin, I think I'm
turn into a
figuring out the mythology.
Yes,
of the goblin witch situation.
Yeah, it's deep. I mean, she was a druid. There's a lot to unpack in this movie, okay?
We're back at the house with the family. Our main really
fun
functional
family. They're all starving and pissed on right now, so angry.
But you know what? Actually, that's not true. They're not all angry because Holly is in the midst of a really intense mirror dance.
Oh my God, she's feeling herself, you guys. She's doing upside down glasses with her hands. I think the idea is that she's trying to like practice for this speech that she's going to give Elliot, her boyfriend.
I think that's the vibe.
But yes, you're right. She's giving this full dance, but it's not really dancing. It's I mean, it is. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
It is.
How dare you?
She's incorporating her workout plans with her dances because it's very like workout. Like, anyway, it's cool.
We'll put a clip because there's no way to describe it. It's a really unique way of creating movement. So you know what? Good for you, Holly. Good for you.
They say the smartest people make their own entertainment, and she is absolutely making her own entertainment. So.
Absolutely. So the only point of telling you that she's doing this really special dance in the mirror is that whose face pops up in that mirror mid-dance?
Joss isn't the only one seeing Grandpa Seth. Okay, Holly, he got his little creeper floaty face, but my favorite thing, he's not really in the mirror. He's off to the side in like the wicker light by the mirror.
So she flips out. She starts screaming and she's like, Grandpa Seth is here. The whole family comes in because that's how they respond to everything.
I mean, but she freaked out so bad that she didn't even talk to Grandpa Seth. He could have been like, shh, I'll teach you how to talk to Elliot. Shh, let me critique those dance moves. He could have been there for all kinds of different things.
Let me
critique these dance moves in the mirror.
I can give you some feedback. I used to dance.
Girl, I am just sitting pretty up in heaven with my little goblin stories. And you know what? It's getting old. I want to show you what Grandpa Seth knows. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. But she's too scared. She's too scared.
She could have really flown. Like, she could have really been given wings by Grandpa Seth in that moment, and she chose to flip out. Bad choice. She flips out, and they all are like, Holly, come on, you're probably just super hungry. You're having delusions. There's no food in this house. And Josh goes to the mirror, and he's like,
you were in the wrong room. Holly was sleeping there.
I still have to learn the layout of this house.
Oh my God, it's such a giant... Grandpa, it looks like you know the layout because you came to the screen door.
I literally put that in my notes.
You made me pee on our dinner, Grandpa. You need to get a lot of things together. It's not that big of a house. It's literally a double wide trailer. It's in the middle of nowhere, Grandpa.
He's like, I just can't figure it out. There's so many twists and turns. I just don't get it. Grandpa Seth tells Josh, I'm still trying to save you from this goblin situation. And he's like, I know, Grandpa, like, nobody's listening to me. Still nobody believes that you're here. My mom won't even listen to what I'm saying. And he goes,
also, Grandpa, you're saving me from the goblin situation as I'm in the goblin situation. You could have prepped me for this. So you've been dead for 6 damn months. You think that you could have been like, hey, Josh, don't let your family go on vacation. If they talk about it, don't go.
Like, poke the tires.
Like, do something.
Drain the gas can or whatever. Your gas tank.
Murder your family. Like, do anything. Get him to stop. Grandpa said.
There were so many ways that we could have just cut this off at the pass. Instead of doing that, he decides to get again into the dysfunctional family dynamics, and Grandpa Seth's like, yeah, your mom never listened to me either. She wouldn't ever take my advice when I was alive. That's why she married this good-for-nothing known as your dad.
Oh, Grandpa Seth, come on. You are really traumatizing Josh. What else can you do? Just go back in heaven, watch Golden Girls, sit back, relax. Like, why are you need to be here?
This family is so dysfunctional, and all the people who are still alive in this family are as dysfunctional as it is. Like, we don't need Grandpa Seth stirring the pot from heaven. I just imagine his little arms reaching down through the clouds and just like stirring the pot.
Yes, he's just bored up there.
Fight, guys, fight. So anyway, point being, Grandpa Seth is wandering around the house, popping up in mirrors, still trying to warn people, but it's just not working. We're going to go back to the RV, and
this is the next morning, you guys. Not one person has given a fuck about Arnold. They don't care where he is. He's being made into a tree in a witch's forest, and no one has asked questions. They are sleeping like little baby angels in red satin sheets, shirtless together. So maybe Michael the dad did have maybe at a point when he told Holly that he thought that maybe his friends were gay, because that's a little...
Yeah, and I don't want to judge, I don't want it to be toxic masculinity. I don't want to judge men being close with each other. I don't want to judge that sort of sensitive
I'm not
friendship.
judging that. I'm judging the red satin sheets. Nobody should be sleeping without their shirts on in red satin sheets.
It definitely takes it to the next level. It sort of changes the whole dynamic when you bring red satin sheets into it, but whatever. So this throuple is just enjoying a cash morning. And even though they are in an RV that has wheels and gas and could get them to a store, instead they send the third guy in the throuple. They're like, you know what? We're just going to keep cuddling. Can you just run to the store and grab us some coffee? Just run to the corner store. It's not a big deal.
Because again, they didn't bring anything. Nobody brought anything. Nobody packs anything. It's ridiculous.
And they act surprised by it. They're there's no
They're
coffee.
thrown
there's
off
no
that they
milk.
didn't have this for the next day.
Damn. There's no milk. There's no coffee. There's nothing. Guys, didn't anyone remember to bring supplies?
We left in too much of a hurry, Drew. Going to town, do the shopping now.
The RV wasn't fully stocked. What are you talking about? Every time I take an RV, it's just full of everything I need, top to bottom. Their friend goes on just a cash jog in his little short shorts, and on the way, he gets picked up by a police officer.
And not just police officer. Something doesn't feel right about this guy.
I think what maybe give you vibes about him is that his name is...
I'm Sheriff Gene Freak.
Gene Freak, town police officer, town sheriff Gene Freak. So weird.
mean...
He creeps up behind him in the weird, the old 70s style cop cars. And then
going so slow.
Yes, invites him into the car, gives him donuts.
And he's like, oh, hey, I happen to have some food in my car. Do you just want to eat this sandwich? It's filled with green frosting. It's my favorite kind of sandwich.
And this guy's so hungry that he does not care that it's got green goo in it. He's like, yep, give me a green goo sandwich. It's all I want.
So he eats the sandwich. And of course, at this point, we've seen enough consumption of green shit to know that this is not going to end well.
This is not going to end well.
So he starts sweating green, and we know that something bad is going to happen to this dude. I don't think his friends are going to notice or even care that he's gone, but for him, they're not looking great.
So we're back at the dysfunctional house, and again, everyone's just full hangry, walking around, so angry because they still don't have food. No one's thought to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, Michael's comes downstairs. He's like, "Where's my breakfast?" And Diane's like, "I mean, there's nothing here. There's no bacon, no
there is
eggs."
one thing there. There's 4 gallons of no bog milk, which we'll get to later, but that's the only thing left in the fridge. So
Have they still not done a grocery run? They're still surprised that this isn't a fully stocked kitchen? Okay, cool.
So Josh and Michael head out to the grocery store to go get some groceries, and they leave Holly and Diane home to just wallow in their hunger. And then our little friend Credence, our little witchy friend Credence.
Credence Leonore Gilgul from ancient druid times.
Well, remember how we talked about the cauldron in her little house, her little church house? Well, she's got a fabulous kitchen, and she makes this delicious green gob pudding. It's so beautiful. The way it's decorated's nice. And she's going to go bring it to that family because for some reason, Credence knows this family and needs to go bring it to him. They never say why she needs to go. There's no point. She doesn't know this family from Adam. She's kidnapped one guy in the forest named Arnold who has nothing to do with this family other than it's his friend's girlfriend. It doesn't make any sense.
This is my theory, okay? Because we learn really early on, at the very beginning of the movie, that there's only 26 people in Nilbog.
Oh,
only
so
26.
She knows the newcomers came. Okay.
Right. And
That's
so
how she knows
they
the family.
all the whispers amongst the crowd, and they're all somehow associated with one another.
The Nilbog Times printed. She gets delivered.
The Nilbog News.
And have you guys figured out what Nilbog is yet? Have you little smarty pants figured it out? It's goblin spelled backwards. That's the name of the town.
Yeah.
Just to get that in there. So she goes to give them this green goop, and she's just determined for them to eat it. Because I think, like Cadence said, I think the whole town kind of wants these people to die.
And they've lured them in.
And they've lured them in. For whatever reason, we don't know. We don't know goblins. We don't know goblins.
Listen, we don't know their lives. We don't know. I just feel like this is to set up a house share situation feels like an overly complicated way to get people to eat them and turn
I know.
them
How do they
into.
even
That's
advertise that? Like, they're goblins. How do they know how to do? How did they find out about this switch house? And what are the goblins doing in the regular people's home? Are they just like wandering around making goblin goo and trying to kill people in the neighborhood? Like, what are they doing over there?
I think we find out shortly the answer to that question.
All right, so we meet Michael and Josh in the downtown Nilbog hip hop center of the town where there's only 26 people, apparently. And they go to the grocery store where there's only one, and it's closed for a sermon. So people will be back in about 20 minutes.
Right.
So Josh's dad is like, I'm going to sit here and casually read my vegetarian cookbook, which I brought with me.
It's just sitting there on the chair.
Oh, it's just sitting there on the chair.
Yeah.
I was like, he did not bring that with him. And he's like,
no, he didn't.
I'm going to peruse this vegetable cookbook.
His interest in this cookbook is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
He picks it up and he brings
ticket.
It right up to his face like, oh my God, what has my life been until this moment?
And Josh is like, oh, my dumb dad doesn't know anything about vegetables. Ugh. So he starts kind of like exploring the town a little bit. And then he goes into what every kid loves to go into, an old, scary, abandoned looking barn.
Of course. But guess what's happening in this old, scary, abandoned barn? The very aforementioned sermon.
The sermon's happening with the town's 26 people. Like,
they're all in the same room.
They're all in the same room. This is an opportunity to just set that thing on fire, by the way. But like, as far as a 26-person town,
I mean, if Grandpa Seth is really working miracles from the other side, like, light a match and set this bad boy on fire.
So in this sermon, guess what people are doing?
The preacher is going on and on about hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks. He's basically listing every kind of meat you could consume.
Salami, bologna. I'm just kidding. He's just going on literally every single piece of meat you could do.
And I was a vegetarian and a vegan for a really long time. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I guess I'm just a little confused about the morality. Like, feeling so self-righteous that you do not eat meat, but you have zero qualms about force-feeding human people goo that turns them into mush that you will then consume?
Your point is mute, as Grandpa Seth said. They don't need to explain their morals to you. Goblins don't need to explain their morals. They don't eat meat, but they will gladly eat human flesh. You're so silly. Get over yourself.
They really gave themselves an out with this movie by from the very first line being like, listen, they're goblins.
You just don't ask questions about the goblins.
There's no sense about anything. Like, because then you can do exactly the stupid thing I just did. So stupid.
So he's going on this sermon about me, and Josh is watching it. And so then all these little people, these are regular people, by the way, you guys. These are not slow-moving tribes of goblins, okay? And they pull out this gooey green stuff, and who do you guys think it is?
It's the third from the throuple who had to run to go get some supplies.
Remember the guy who got into Gene Freak's cop car? He's freaking dead now. He's green goo, and the townspeople are eating him up, gobbling him. Get it? Gobbling him up.
So this is something that's unclear, but I'm going to clarify it for you just for the sake of understanding. They look like townspeople. They are actually goblins.
Yes.
They are in disguise. So they appear as townspeople to the regular person's eyeballs,
but not to Arnold's eyeballs, not to his, only to other people's eyeballs.
The logic crumbles.
Let's talk about it. Yes, they are disguised as human people. Right when they're about to they find Josh and they're like, "Why are you watching us? Why are you doing this? You little creep! Eat this green goo, which is secretly your sister's boyfriend's dead friend." Eat it. And
but do not eat a hamburger.
But do not eat a hamburger. And he's like, no. And then Michael, Josh's dad, comes in and saves the day. And he's like, doesn't even blink twice if these townspeople are having a sermon in an abandoned barn trying to get his son to eat green goo.
Holding his son down, force feeding him. And he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're trying to give him some ice cream. And he's like,
it was nice meeting all of you. My son and I must be leaving now.
so weird.
Anyone know where I can get some vegetables? I found this cookbook. Like, it's
I'm surprised he wasn't like, this is Southern hospitality right here.
I know,
Feed me
Michael.
ice cream.
Be a good damn dad. It's so funny. Yep. Okay, well, that makes perfect sense. Okay, well, see ya.
You know what? He's crazed with hunger. He doesn't know. He's delusional at this
Hunger
point.
pains. So we're now assuming that Michael and Josh are in the Nilbog grocery store after that little debacle. They're just going to get some goods and eat it. Meanwhile, we're back kind of with Holly. Holly is just walking her little... She's working out again. She's working out again. She can't help but work out.
We still don't know, though. Somehow she's made contact with Elliot in the RV, which we don't know how because it's 1990 and they're in a house and they're in an RV on the side of the road and nobody has phones,
people
whatever.
in this goddamn town of
true.
Nilglob, okay? She just looks at whatever the different RV is.
It went through, like, they're playing the telephone game, like, just whispering in each other's ear, like, that RV's on the side of the road, that RV's on the side of the road.
So she's like,
eventually
okay.
gets to her.
I think that one's it. I see the gaggle of gays outside, so I'm going to go see Elliot. And she's
just frolicking with their sheets
short
in the
shorts.
field.
That must be Elliot. So she walks over and she's just having this intense conversation. And as Michael is driving Joshua home, of course they see it too.
Of course. And he hates Elliot. So of course he's going to pull over.
Oh, pulls over so angry in his little minivan. And he's just yelling at Elliot. And you have to hear this conversation real quick.
So, kids, how's life?
Listen, Mr. Waits.
I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't speak to people who arrive late and upset their girlfriends. You've given me a bad impression.
Come on, Dad.
Well, get in the car and talk, Holly, okay?
Listen, Mr. Waits, we need to have a serious talk.
If you want to have a serious talk, you'll have to forget about your friends and come to our house. Otherwise, you forget about Holly.
All right, I'm coming.
Hey, wait a minute, Elliot. You're going to leave me here alone?
Yes.
But what do I tell Drew and Arnold?
Tell me whatever you want.
What am I going to do?
Take the camper. Do what you want.
You guys, he literally completely contradicts himself. And Elliot's like, okay, all right.
Sure, cool. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, you're not terrifying at all. But yeah, okay.
Even better is he just leaves his friend, and his friend literally, because there's one more friend that he was with earlier. Because remember, we had the guy that ran out to get the coffee. We had poor Arnold, who's probably made into a plant right now.
Poor Arnold.
So Elliot's leaving his friend, and his friend's literally like, are you leaving me right now? And he's like, yeah, dude, I got to go talk to this. Got to go talk to Holly. We got to go work out.
Yeah, so the friend is just like, I guess I'll just chill here and watch movies. That seems like fine. I never mind I'm in a beautiful forest in the middle of summer and I could go exploring. I'm going to stay in here and watch TV. And Elliot and Holly and the dad go back to the house.
And
Josh,
don't forget Josh.
Oh,
he's
Josh.
in there too. He's a little traumatized in the back, but he's there.
He's in a catatonic state. They get back to the house and something really exciting is happening at the house.
Oh, you guys, they pull up to the shindig of Nilglob's year, okay? Everyone is there.
Nilglob, and it's Nilbog.
Nilbog. I can't, okay, goblin backwards is Nilbog. Okay, I gotta remember that. It's the biggest party of Nilbog's year, you guys.
Oh,
Everybody in the town that was just at the crazy sermon where they tried to liquefy his son and eat him, they're all there.
Oh, Michael! Look what a surprise they have prepared for us!
Finally, I am so hungry.
What are you doing here, Elliot?
Mom, Elliot's part of the family now.
Oh, Elliot.
What a pleasure to see you again, Mr. Waits. We wanted to make up for the misunderstanding we had a little while ago. Look, all the people of Nilbog have decided to give you a party. We even have a little food.
A little food. They prepared a whole feast.
And yeah, Michael doesn't blink an eye. He's not like, hey, you guys were just trying to like hold my kid down.
Literally like
maybe
20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like maybe. I pulled over to grab my daughter fighting with her gay boyfriend. And you guys are here. Yeah. And of course,
this is the
Diane,
one time
the
they
mom,
moved quickly.
Right? The one time the goblins
made good time.
How do they get around? Do they just walk around in human form, like
in a
marching
bunch
down the street really slowly? And Diane, the wife, you know, poor girl, she just didn't really have much going on in this movie.
No.
She's just out of it the whole time. She's having the time of her life talking to all these goblins disguised as people.
They're bringing her food and that's all she cares about. She's like, finally, there's food in this house. Finally, I've been starving for a day and a half.
Well, that's the best part, too. Michael and Josh didn't bring home any damn groceries.
That's true. That was their one job.
They were still so traumatized from almost being liquefied and finding that sermon that they forgot to bring groceries
right.
home. So she probably is starving.
Yeah, she's thrilled. And, you know, they're doing something that normally happens at parties, right? So, like, the goblin townsfolk have put Elliot and Josh and Holly and Michael and Diane in chairs in the middle of the room and had them sit down while everyone surrounds them in a group, clapping rhythmically, moving closer and closer and closer towards them.
Yes,
Now,
I love parties that happens. I feel like the center of attention. It's great.
It's not uncomfortable at all. It's not like people singing happy birthday times 100.
And they keep stuffing like napkins down their shirts to be like, make sure you get it all. And the town, like, they're all just like, okay, it's interesting.
They're looking
interesting
around
town.
like, we want to respect your guys' cultural celebrations. Okay, I think I can get down with this.
I can get Nilbog. I can get Nilbog spirit. Okay.
And you would think that there was any sort of sense of impending doom. No, they're happy to party, whatever. The only person who definitely knows something is not right is, of course, Joshua. Of course.
Josh, of course. He's like the Sixth Sense boy. He's just like tortured soul.
Oh, poor Josh.
He literally is the one that saves his whole family like 10 times in this movie. But
yeah, he escapes into the other room and he's calling on Grandpa Seth. He's like, listen, I really need your help. If you're going to pop up anywhere at any time, this is the time to pop up. So Grandpa Seth materializes into the house.
Oh, now he does.
Yeah.
Now he does. Not when he was about to be eaten.
He knows the layout now.
He's been studying in heaven the whole time, the construction plans. He's like, okay, the bedroom's attached to the bathroom, and there's a mirror right here. That is not Holly's room. That's Josh's room. He just took him so long.
But he materializes with an axe. So...
Oh, okay.
So that comes in handy.
I have a few questions about that, but
Go ahead,
I'm not going to ask
away.
him. I'm not going to ask him.
I don't have any answers for you, but feel free to ask. I asked way too many questions watching this, and there are no answers ever. One little goblin sees that Joshua has escaped to the back room, right? And so they go to chase him down. Grandpa's there with the axe, swings, and chops that gob's hand right off.
Right off. And gobs do not bleed blue blood or red blood. They bleed green blood.
Obviously.
That was a tongue twister. I love how, too, Grandpa Seth, his axe, which isn't really an axe, it's kind of like, and you get the idea. It goes to cut off the goblin's hand, and the goblin's hand breaks because it's made out of paper mache. And so it like paper mache breaks, and then
there's
green
like chips
goo
coming
comes out
off
of it.
The other thing that, this may sound confusing, and that's because it is.
Just don't ask questions. We don't know.
This may
We're
sound
on
confusing.
This wild ride with
It is
you.
Confusing. Just bear with me.
It was never explained. In the movie,
at
by
the moment,
way. We're just as lost as you
exactly. So the moment that the goblin's hand is cut off, then the goblin is sucked through a mirror.
More like jumped through.
Catapulted through a mirror.
A tiny mirror.
And it comes out the other side, and guess who the head goblin is?
It's our good old witch friend
Credence.
What are you doing, you sneaky little bitch? Now we know something's going on. Oh, now we know why she has a dog in this fight. Because remember earlier we were like, is she a goblin? Is she not? She's a druid?
She has all the dogs in this fight because they're all gobs in this fight.
Credence is furious. You guys, she's furious.
And she's missing a hand because whatever happens in the gob world, I guess, translates into her world. So she has translated back to her church house missing a hand, and she screams for a solid 5 to 10 minutes, just over and over and over again.
And Arnold's in the back like, he's trying to talk to her. She's furious. Her hand is gone. It's confusing. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's got one eye, like still one eye working. His eyeballs looking around. Me? Like, oh, having fun are you now, Credence? Okay, here's another thing that they don't explain but happens. Because she's of druid origin, she has like a little makeshift druid temple in her house.
As one does.
Like made of stone.
Yes.
And she puts her hand through and it heals her hand. She gets her hand back.
Druids know how to do all that stuff.
Totally. And then the second thing she does is she's like, oh, I'm pulling out the big guns now. I'm going to pull out the biggest weapon I got. Steps her whole body into the druid temple. Comes back out. And you guys.
We got to she's all that situation. We gotta she's all that, he's all that situation.
I mean, this is makeover to end all makeovers. If she would have come out with shaving cream on her naughty bits, that would have been an even better reveal. But that's the vibe you're going for right now.
She comes out full, beautiful young woman.
Oh, hair down, cleave out,
beautiful makeup.
She's wearing garter belt and thigh highs, red lipstick, sexy.
She is sexy. And I think that's in druid lore. That's what you can do. You make a little stone altar in your church house that you camp out in. try to eat people that come to your town as you run a town of goblins, and you can somehow beautify yourself. Why didn't you just do that at the beginning? We're asking too many questions.
There's so many times that you stop and you're like, but
she could have just dressed up as that beautiful woman at the very beginning, seduced the dad, then taken over the whole family real easy.
I'm sorry, dressed up. You mean transform through druid magic?
Transform through druid magic. You're right.
How
you're right.
dare you reduce that to dress up?
So before we figure out why she's all dressed up and went through her druid magic to make herself she's all that, we come back to the family. And this has obviously caused a little goblin getting his hand cut off by dead Grandpa Seth, who came out of a mirror, has caused some problems. So Grandpa Seth finally acts like a hero, and he's like, hey, Josh, I got the solution for it all. And he gives him like a freaking vodka bottle filled with, what are they?
A Molotov cocktail. We've already... You couldn't say it last time we talked about it.
I can't ever think of what it's called. But yes, he gives Grandpa Seth, something is wrong with him because he's coming from heaven with an axe, which we already have so many questions about. Where'd you get the axe in heaven? What's anger? Blah, blah, blah. Now he's sitting there telling him like, hey, burn everybody down. And it's like, as I was Josh, I'd be like, Grandpa Seth, are you okay? Do we need to talk about something? You didn't come to materialize me when I was about to be cremated and eaten by these townspeople. Now you want me to...
at the weirdest time.
And you just
pull
pull
the
out...
weirdest weapons.
Right? You just pull out a bomb and you want me to throw off the bomb? Like, I don't get it. But...
So my favorite part, though, is that he hands in the Molotov cocktail. He goes, okay, so Joshua's holding the Molotov cocktail. Grandpa's holding a fire extinguisher. And he's like, you go light the fire. I'll cause a distraction. And I'm like, he lights the fire and you put it out? Like, what? That's going to cause total confusion, but also defeat the purpose.
The fire is the distraction. He's been in heaven too long. He's just been practicing those layouts.
How things work.
It's really sad. But Joshua throws the cocktail on one of the townsfolk because you have to keep in mind.
Oh, not just anybody.
The townsfolk are still in this crazy, like, they're in human form, they're clapping, they're just
still
really
partying.
trying to get them to
still
eat.
Partying.
No one has focused on the goblin that got his hand cut off. Josh has done a very good job with Seth.
In the other room. It was in the other room.
Yes. Grandpa Seth and Josh have done a very good job of sweeping under the rug, keeping it quiet.
You can tell that Grandpa's good at sweeping stuff under the rug, though. With that family dysfunction, that's what he did the whole time he was alive.
Right? Yeah, we heard as he bitched to his grandson, his alive grandson.
She never listened to me. She married your stupid ass dad.
So he gets one of the townsfolk, and it is the preacher guy. It's the main preacher guy. He throws the cocktail on him, sets him on fire. He burns, but guess what? His burned body shows up, and it's actually a troll. And now everybody sees.
I think you mean
oh my God.
Goblin.
Oh my God, Lynn. I cannot believe I just said troll. This whole movie I've said goblin, and I just lost it at the very end.
How dare you?
He throws it at the preacher, the same one that was going to turn him into mush and feed him to the townsfolk, and he catches him on fire, and they go to his burned body, and they see that it's a goblin.
Well, because his dad comes out and puts the fire out. He's like, Joshua, what are you doing lighting people on fire?
So Grandpa Seth didn't even put him out. Grandpa Seth lied to him. He just like, I have this fire extinguisher, I'll put him out, and then the dad goes and grabs it.
Everything about that interaction is weird because he thinks that Grandpa Seth is going to have his back, and as soon as he throws that Molotov cocktail, Grandpa Seth dematerializes immediately. He's like, bye.
Bye, Josh. Figure it out.
Your dumbass dad's coming into the picture. So the dad, Michael, puts the guy out, like Colin said, and it reveals his goblin body. So in this moment, the whole crowd has gone from inside to outside. They're all looking at the body. All the townspeople are like, shit, we've been found out. The gobs are revealed. What are we going to do? The whole family stands in the middle of the goblin crowd, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to go inside.
Yeah, and I'm thinking right now, I know the goblin crew is a little slow moving, as we know in their goblin form.
Little.
They could have easily taken over that family right now. They could have easily, literally just grabbed them. They are surrounding the family outside. And like Cadence said, they're backing up like, oh, this is a little awkward. And they let them go in the house.
It's peak goblin slow moving bullshit because there's 26 people in this town, as we have learned. They're all here, minus the guy who was just on fire, so 25. They're all surrounding them, and they run into the house, and they all stand still. Not a one chases a family member.
Nothing.
A one.
They literally just all look at them, and now they're inside. And I would like to say, this is where Diane, the wife, really picks up. This is where she real perks up. She knows something's crazy, and her eyes are bugging this whole time, and she's just like, her dramatics come on, like, what are we gonna do?
She's all of a sudden real on fire. It's a figure of speech, not really on fire like the other guy who really got lit on fire.
R.I.P. guy. Needless to say, guys, we have Holly, Elliot, Josh, Michael, and Diane. They are stuck in their house with the goblins slowly looking at them outside. What are they going to do? But we're going to leave that. We'll come back to that.
Well, Gene Freak, he goes like, you just come out and eat this food. We have this food for you. It'll be way easier. We don't want to kill you the violent way. And then the other dude's like,
it would be a shame. The blood would mix with the meat, and we'd have to put them in vinegar for the whole night.
Oh my God, that was the weirdest. No, we got to definitely timestamp that one. We have to put that in here because I thought that was the funniest thing. Like, that was the most random. Like, what does vinegar have to do with soaking the meat? And I don't. And then once you soak the meat and turn it into vegetable, like, vinegar takes that out.
right. Like,
nobody
what does
understands.
It even mean? What
and
does
also,
it even mean?
I bless these darn goblins' little hearts. They just don't know. They're just like, come out, eat this food. They're still trying to, like, trick them. Like, they still think that somehow they're going to be like, okay, we'll come out and eat it. Cool.
Like, Gene Freak has a gun. And I'm like, so you could just end this quickly.
Did you see the townspeople? They have pitchforks and shotguns. They're all surrounding them with their regular townspeople stuff. And
But I guess
nonviolence.
They are just trying to save themselves at the work of having to soak it in vinegar. I mean, I guess that's the logic. Like, we could kill you violently, but it adds this whole nother step in the prep situation.
That's
and
true.
None of us have time
That's
for
true.
it.
We're hungry. We don't want any blood in our damn goo, okay?
Yeah.
So we're not going to shoot you. in your
Only
blood with
panties.
this. Only panties. Because, yeah, when you turn into goo, your clothes just stay. Only certain parts of your clothes stay, by the way. So we're going to leave them in the house for a little bit, and we're going to go revisit our friend Credence.
So we've got the one guy left behind that Elliot left behind to watch TV. And Credence is making her way through the woods because, as I mentioned earlier, she's pulling out all the stops to seduce some random guy in an RV.
She's getting a little desperate,
which
you
will
guys.
never make sense to me, but whatever, because it's the best scene in cinematic history. Let me just set the stage. As we already talked about, she's wearing a very sexy black dress, lots of cleavage. She's got a garter belt going, thigh highs. Okay, her tool of seduction is a cob of corn. A piece of corn on the cob.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
Yes, it is.
And she tucks it into her garter belt for safekeeping as she enters the RV.
Well, first off, as he's watching TV, and it kind of statics out, and then on the TV is beautiful Cray Cray.
And she's walking
around.
woods.
She's kind of doing a seductive-ish kind of dance while holding in both hands the ear of corn.
Yeah, one ear of corn, both hands, one ear of corn.
I wouldn't necessarily say the kid that's left behind, we don't know his name, bless his heart.
Oh, no.
He's kind of like, the fuck is going on?
What channel is this?
He's not turned on in the slightest. He's more really creeped out.
And then she's like, oh, it's not a TV show. It's real. Just open the door, baby. So this is when she tucks the corn into her garter belt for safekeeping. He opens the RV door.
Confused as hell.
And
maybe it's like a vampire situation, like goblins can't go unless they're invited in. I think that's maybe what they were trying to do.
Maybe it is. There's so many mythologies kind of overlapping that I'm never quite sure.
Because at this point, she could have just knocked on the door and not gone through all that trouble to static the TV.
I mean, to broadcast herself on TV.
You gotta get a camera. She went through, but again, she's pulling out all the stops.
Listen, it's ancient druid magic. I don't question it. It just is what it is. They get into the RV and she's rubbing her hands thoroughly over every square centimeter of this corn on the cob, okay? So she's touched every surface of it. And then she's like,
what's the matter? Aren't you hungry?
And he's like, yeah, I am. I'm really hungry because my friends they didn't stock the fridge. I sent one to a friend earlier today and didn't come back. And now Elliot left me. Of course I'm hungry.
Yeah, he's like, well, I do like popcorn. And she says, oh, that's okay. All we've got to do is heat it up. And then they proceed to make out with the corn cob between their mouths. It's kind of reminiscent of Pennies from Heaven and the hot dog situation.
It is bizarre. I think she's kind of got him under a spell. At least that's what I'm telling myself, because I don't know any human being that would find this situation erotic or cool or something I would do. And like Cadence said, because they're just going at it with this corn and he likes popcorn, it gets so hot that it starts popping and the trailer is filled with popcorn.
Okay, it just sort of looks like, so just in your mind, imagine One person biting on a corn cob from one side, one person biting on the corn cob from the other side, and then just people from the sidelines chucking popcorn at their faces.
It is so...
That's the visual.
It's druid magic. It's druid magic.
There's all these little druid witches to the side just pelting them.
And I know
with
what you
popcorn.
guys are probably thinking if you've never seen this movie. Like, no way. There's got to be some backstory to that popcorn. No. Nothing. There's nothing.
Nope.
The corn just came in. We don't know why she's seducing this boy. We don't know why she chose to get younger. We don't know anything about it.
Nope.
We just roll with the punches. Roll with the goblins. Cree is just seducing this guy. The camper's filled with popcorn. It's a rockin'. We're going to leave that and we're going to go back to the family because like,
when the
they're
corn's
stuck.
popping, don't come a
knocking.
It's a corn hub.
Corn hub. He loves corn hub. Corn leaf fans. Oh no, that's bad. I was trying to say, anyway, you get it.
It was good. I got it.
So we're back at the house, and this family's freaked out. The goblins are still just not wanting to get blood in their meat, surrounding them. Again, shotguns,
They're moving
pitchforks.
very slowly,
You get it.
holding them hostage.
So then all of a sudden, Josh is begging Grandpa Seth to come back, but because Grandpa Seth's a dick and comes when he wants
Just
to.
ditched
and
him, totally ditched him.
After chopping off someone's hand, just ditches him.
He
They're
causes a complete riot and then see ya.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. So he's like, Grandpa Seth, come out. And they're like, well, the only way we can get him out. Actually, Holly steps up. Instead of working out, she finally has a good idea. And she says, I know how we
Stops
could get.
lifting weights for 5 minutes.
She's like, I got it. We can do a seance. And then they have a seance of all seances, you guys.
Oh, jeez. So much seance.
So much seance to call for Grandpa Seth.
And when he finally shows up, everyone's like, this cannot be happening. And the mom's like, this is not real. And I'm like, oh, now you guys believe. Now you guys are freaked out. Never mind, Josh has been seeing this the entire time.
You
and
guys
you've
pulled
all
over
given him
your
shit.
damn van to let your kid imaginary talk to hitchhiking Grandpa Seth, hitchhiker. You should fucking believe him.
Right.
Anyway, yes, it's the seance of all seance, and they call Grandpa Seth, and he is now there to help him figure out how to get rid of these goblin people.
Never mind, he could have stopped this all from the beginning. But
He
whatever.
just is a dick. All right, so during this seance of all seances, they don't, because Grandpa Seth does what the fuck he wants, so he's not going to show up when they
Comes
seance
in
him.
and outs whenever he feels
Whenever
like
he
it.
wants, but he does like kind of quasi speak through Joshua, saying that there's this stone in the witch's house and they've got to destroy this stone. And that's how they're going to get out of this damn town and these damn goblins. And in that moment, even though it's not fully shown or explained in the movie, Josh gets tired after that and passes out on the table. And his mom runs over to him to pick him up. And guess what? He's a goblin. He's been switched with the goblin, and now Josh is in the witch's house. And I guess an old goblin that was at the witch's house is now there.
He's like, well, how did I end up here? I was just about to eat dinner.
He was like, I was just hanging out, eating some slob, and all of a sudden I'm here with you people. He doesn't have any idea. So they freak out, and then at that moment, all the other goblins come into the house, and now they're slowly waddling towards the family for a very long scene, trying to get them.
So let's just say, for the sake of brevity, let's just say that there's a very long, slow, painful battle that's happening between the family.
The goblins are jumping
and
on the
gobs.
dads, and good thing we got Holly, who's a workout buff. She's bench pressing
throwing them
them,
all over the
throwing them out
place.
the windows, protecting her sweet Elliot.
Because the main thing is that because Joshua has been transported into the witch's lair, he is the one who's like sent to destroy things. Grandpa Seth decides to show his sweet
Of
cheeks
course
all
he
of a
does.
sudden.
Hi, I'm here all of a
the
sudden.
weirdest time. He hands Josh a backpack. He says, listen.
Grandpa, where have you been?
Take this. Keep it. You can only take out the contents when you really need it. Do you understand?
I understand. And now?
Here it is. Stonehenge magic stone. Goblin's magic power.
There's also there's no explanation as to why Joshua was chosen for this, why his grandpa came to him after he died. There's zero explanation. Now this was his life's goal, was to destroy this stone. Nobody knows.
Joshua is running over to the stone, and at this moment, all of a sudden, a bunch of gobs end up back in the witch's lair, okay?
Yeah, they transport from out of the house after attacking the family. back
After
in
the
witch's
slowest
lair.
fight in history.
After the
They're like,
slowest.
oh, I guess we'll go back.
They're like, our queen is calling, and they all zap up and go into the witch's house.
Because he's infiltrated the witch's lair, she's all that makeover has gone to pot. She wasted it on the guy in the RV. That's the only thing she got done.
Hold on, she wakes up at the RV and looks at her face in the mirror, and she's like, oh shit. So that was a waste of time. That was a total waste of time.
Totally seduced some idiot teenager in an RV, like wasted all my power and beauty with popcorn. She heads back to her lair to protect herself, and all of the goblins and the head witch are making their way towards Josh, okay? And you
Slowly
think he's
again.
gonna be very slowly,
kind of
anticlimactically.
poking at him. And we've got, just to set the scene though, we've got Arnold in the background, who's almost a full-blown tree now.
Almost a full-blown tree, correct. And he takes out the special weapon from the backpack Grandpa Seth gave him, and guess what it is?
It's a fucking ham sandwich, you guys.
It's the thickest piece of ham I have ever seen with my two eyeballs. It's like at least 2 inches thick.
Oh, it's full Thanksgiving
massive.
leftover ham. And he just starts stuffing it in his mouth while touching the stone. And you guys, the goblins, this is the worst thing they have ever seen. They are astonished by him eating meat. They are furious
offended
with him eating meat. They are pissed as shit. And the witch,
the head witch is like,
Don't do it! We put the fucks in your blood!
Think about the cholesterol. Think about the toxins.
Meanwhile, while this scene goes on for seemingly hours, the family has time to get into the van and drive to find Josh, who's been transported to the temple. So his whole family, we got Holly, Diane, Michael.
but don't you worry. They totally clear up any plot holes by saying, Grandpa Seth's voice led us here.
Yep, this led you.
So now we know.
How did Grandpa Seth's voice lead you here when he was here with me, giving me a ham sandwich? Okay, sounds real suspicious. Like you were at home just hanging out and Grandpa Seth gave me a sandwich and you heard his voice?
You didn't believe me.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you.
That's what Josh should have done. Yeah, I don't believe you guys. Give me proof. That's what you said earlier. Give me proof that he heard his voice.
Your therapist already told you to get over it, remember?
Mm-hmm. He just turned so sassy. But no, he's like, okay, great, come help me. And keep in mind that the goblins don't ransack the family. They literally walk in, the goblins separate, and then they walk to the stone with their son. They don't try to stop them or fight
They're
them.
like, go ahead.
Go by.
You can pass.
So then they were like, what do we do? And he's like,
Quick, help me. Put your hands on the stone and concentrate. What? Don't you see? Only the power of goodness can destroy these monsters.
it's kind of like a Peter Pan, so you think you can fly type situation. Think happy thoughts.
Right. Your goodness can destroy these monsters. So everybody has to touch the stones and just concentrate really, really, really hard. And as they do this, there's this painfully long, I mean, they could not have dragged it out longer if they tried.
Every single goblin's eyes explode.
Mm-hmm.
The witch is throwing up goo, and they just sit there and kind of, I guess, die.
Like melt a little bit, something like that.
They don't really melt. They kind of just like slowly fall down. And that's it, guys. They saved them. They saved the day.
Yeah, there's, you forgot, there's lots of lightning involved.
Lots of lightning, yes.
I mean,
it's
so
druid
many lightning
magic.
flashes.
It's druid magic.
That's true. Lightning's always involved with druid magic. You're right. So anyway, they win. They drive home. They're so happy to be back in their suburban house.
Not to mention, they drive home really great, but what about the seduced popcorn guy? You know? What about Arnold? I'm assuming they saved him.
Is he just...
Does Arnold come back?
No,
Does
they never
seduced
even
popcorn guy come back?
They never address Arnold again.
Yeah, they just leave them all out.
Yeah. Who knows
wraps
what
up,
happened to the
rounds
other
out.
three RV guys? Because
But, like-
Elliot comes back with the family.
You drag your friends out on a month-long vacation. You don't give them any food. You
In
kill
an RV.
you kill all of them, and then you get Holly, the workout girl. Oh, so typical.
You win.
You win, of course.
Ugh, what a dick. They walk inside. They're so happy to be back. Josh's mom is like, opens the fridge. There's just a giant crystal bowl full of apples. That's the only thing in their fridge.
Yes, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
that's how I keep my apples, but whatever. She's like, Josh, don't you want to eat something? Aren't you just worn out from destroying all of those goblins with your goodness powers? He's like, I'm just actually super tired. I think I'm going to go to bed.
I think I want to go seance grandpa upstairs. I'm tired.
I need to go talk to Grandpa Seth for just one quick sec. So he comes back, he goes up to his room, and then he starts hearing weird sounds. And he goes back downstairs. You guys, this is the end of the movie, okay?
This is the end of the movie. Last minute.
You think they are home safe. You think they have escaped the gobs.
You think they're eating apples as one big happy workout family that's got some suppressed issues that they need to work through with therapy. But no.
But no, he sees gobs eating his mom's naked boobs green juice all over the place. This is where the whole entire story plot falls apart because they are eating her flesh. They haven't turned her into a soup.
There is full boob. I mean, you see it. They are eating. It's kind of like half a soupy, fleshy thing.
True. The boobs are like the last thing to liquefy, maybe.
Maybe they're just going for the softest parts. They just and they're digging in and they go, "Want some, Joshua?"
They're eating my mom.
And he screams. And that's how the movie ends, you guys. That ending just had us, oh man, talk about wild. My emotions were all over the place. I did not see that coming. Did not see the gobs winning in this situation.
Nope, I thought goodness prevailed.
Couple of questions. Okay, so we already talked about Arnold. He's dead. He's a plant man.
Right.
I hope, or did they take him home with them and grow him as a plant? Because he was full. He was full plant. Only his little baby eye was sticking out. So I'm curious.
Which also, that's a way slower way to transform humans into edible material.
Yes, it took forever. He got definitely the worst death. And then you have Popcorn Guy who didn't die because.
I mean, who knows at this point?
I mean, maybe things got too hot and she killed him with the popcorn. I don't know.
He choked on popcorn.
But my main thing is, did the trolls? Did they eat them? Were the family members? Did they break into the house and then quickly eat them? Like, how did the trolls get there eating them all? So
fast.
Yes.
Okay, wouldn't this be wild? What if Grandpa Seth was truly a gob the entire time?
Oh my God, he is. That's a good theory because he was sketch as fuck.
Right. And he keeps saying he's going to save him from the gobs, but somehow keeps leading him directly to the gobs.
Yeah, and then leaves every time anything bad with the gobs starts to happen.
I had never thought about it that till now, but now I'm thinking that I'm onto something.
Remember the family that they did the whole Cameron Diaz swap with? Mm-hmm. What if that family, because those were obviously gobs, what if they were waiting?
They were gobs.
That's the alternate family.
Because I would say yes, only except when Josh walks in on the sermon, that family's there. And when the dad sees the family, he's like, hey, wait a second, you're supposed to be at our house. And they're like, yeah, we had some car trouble. And he's like, oh, yeah, that sounds reasonable.
So then where the hell are you staying now?
Exactly.
Well, that was something we did not bring up, but adds a big what if to the situation. So yes, they must have just had to have been or maybe they didn't think happy thoughts in the ancient druid magic. It was like, if you don't think happy thoughts while you're trying to destroy this stone, you turn into gobs a couple days later and eat your family.
I mean, clearly.
You know who the real loser is in this situation, though? Josh.
Oh, well, obviously. His family's being he's been seeing a ghost this entire time. He's had to light freaking gobs on fire. He's had to destroy a druid temple, and he still gets home, and his entire family gets devoured in front of his eyes.
I mean, he has a really hard time. He's already traumatized from peeing on his family's dinner, having night terrors about turning into a tree. It's like he really got the shit end of the stick. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think Grandpa Seth was head gobs because he started making him have those dreams and stuff. That's our fan theory.
Yeah, and the truth is, you guys, I did not plan for that. Like, that came to me in this very last discussion. It had never even entered my mind before, but I'm connecting the dots, and I think I'm onto something, honestly. I think I am.
I think you guys should tell us what you think it is, because honestly, it doesn't say. The movie, I mean, I'm sure if we looked it up and got some real intensity behind it, we could see like what the ending actually was, but we want to hear what you think the ending was, because that just doesn't make a ton of sense, and like Cadence said, the whole story kind of falls apart with that ending. But you know what?
I mean, they do come out of left field. If anything, it does surprise you. So they succeeded at that.
Oh, more than surprised. All right, guys. Well, thanks for sticking in another one with us. I don't know. Why do I keep saying sticking with us for another one?
Arnold got a stick in his arm.
He did, as he slowly ran away from slow-moving tribes of goblins. We're getting better, you guys, at putting up like clips and stuff. So we're definitely going to give you a lot of visuals, and we're trying to do it with every.
There's the only way to sell this is with a lot of visuals.
Yeah, because I know it's like when hearing it, you're like, there's no way this movie is real. It is. The movies that we do are real. We are not changing the plots or doing anything. This is the stories of these movies.
All we are here to do is facilitate their greatness coming from us to you. That's it.
We are a vehicle. We are a vehicle that their greatness is transported to you by him.
True.
Okay, yes. Maybe at that I need to go to bed too.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Guys. Bye, guys. We're really on a roll.
how does it feel that you were the director of the worst movie ever made?
But you think that you were the worst movie. I did a very good movie. If the others say worst movie, it's them problem, not my problem. My problem is to shoot a lot of movie. I want to shoot a lot of movie. I can't stop.